ever since I played my first Assassin's Creed game, I have been looking for the best Assassin's Creed game. And now, that might be a little bit of a stretch since it really only started when I played through Assassin's Creed 2 because I heard it was the best Assassin's Creed game. So I wanted to know, is it the best? And my answer was no, it's not. And I've looked at Assassin's Creed Nexus, and while it is one of my favorite VR games, best Assassin's Creed game, can't really give it that. Right now, my favorite is Assassin's Creed Origins. I've also played Odyssey, and I've played a little bit of Black Flag, because I am wanting to do a video on that sometime soon, hopefully, and also a little bit of Valhalla. And Assassin's Creed Shadows came out, and I was like, let's take a look and see if Assassin's Creed Shadows is the best Assassin's Creed game. The short answer is no. The answer is no, it's not. It's still Origins. My favorite first Assassin's Creed game I played, I still give it to Origins. Although it's pretty neck and neck between Origins and Odyssey for me. But Origins I think takes the win, especially considering that it is set in ancient Egypt. I love that. Anyways, this isn't about Origins. It's about Assassin's Creed Shadows. And before I get too far into it, I'm not going to be talking too much about the story of Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's primarily because I haven't finished it. Which is kind of an interesting thing because, firstly, I don't make these videos until I am done with the game. When I feel finished with the game, that's when I actually make these videos. So even though sometimes I'll continue to go back and play the games a little bit more, when I feel like I am done with the game, that is when I make these videos. So I am making this video having played 65 hours of Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I still have not finished the story. And I think even on How Long to Beat, it's like 52 or 54 hours for the main story plus some extra. And I played 65 hours. I have no idea what I put 65 hours into, but I played 65 hours, and I feel pretty done with the game, and I haven't finished the story. And I feel like that says, I feel like that's kind of a big deal for me because the story is usually the primary driving factor for my gameplay. I'll usually play the story and then play, some dozens of hours later, like in Fallout 4, which I've got a video coming on that here pretty soon. But on Fallout 4, I played 44 hours of the game and then continued to play another 50 to 60 hours after the story. The story is usually the driving thing, the driving force for me to play a game. And in this game, in Assassin's Creed Shadows, I just couldn't care. I was playing, like, it took me about 15 hours to get Yasuke, which I think people typically say about 12 to 13 hours. So I put in a little extra time, but it took me about 15 hours before I got Yasuke, which really made the game feel like this was Nawe's game, and then Yasuke comes in later, and then it's like, I don't know, I felt like that was way too much time to just be focusing solely on Nawe, and then you bring in Yasuke later, and then it's like, he's there now, and some things kind of but it still feels like it's Nawe's game with Yasuke added in there. But for the most part, like when going through, whenever I'd log on to the game, whenever I'd want to do stuff, I always just kind of avoided the big circle, the Shinbaku, in the center. That's the main cult or whatever that you're assassinating. I just kind of didn't bother doing any of that for most of the game. I just went and I did other stuff. I went and did contracts. I went and raided castles. I went and that's actually something that was really fun about this game is that a lot of quests would give you a list of people to assassinate. And honestly, I was having fun with it because I just would go and I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna assassinate this group of people. And so then I spent maybe 10 hours, going through and, I'd have to travel to the locations and, there's some stuff along the way you do. And then, I'd go assassinate the guy and then I have to go okay, where's the next guy? So I'd be spending a day or something like that going and assassinating an entire group of people, but then like it'd be like higher levels, it's higher than you or whatever. Anyways, I was having a lot of fun with like the fact that a lot of the quests were just like, here's a group of people, assassinate this group of people. And one thing I like to say was that this is the most Assassin's Creed that has ever assassinated Assassin's Creed, I think. Something like that. But it's basically like a lot of quests revolve around just assassinating people. And then there were some like quests about, you know, like killing like this many bandits or this many Ronin or whatever. And like, but like there was a lot of quests that were like, hey, here's a group of people, go find them all and assassinate them all. And like that was fun. I liked doing that. I would go and do that a lot more often. But then when it came time to like wanting to do any story quests or, you know, any like side character quests, I couldn't care. I just really could not care. So the story on this thing that's why I didn't finish it, is because I was playing through some story and then I was just like, you know what? I just want to start skipping through the dialogue. And then I realized, if I'm just what am I even doing? You know? So the story on this, I just couldn't care on this one. I still had my fun with the game. I just couldn't care about the story. And also like the modern day, the last few Assassin's Creed games, so Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, all focused around Layla. I don't know about Mirage, because I haven't played Mirage. But those are the three. Those all focused around Layla as your main protagonist. You have Assassin's Creed Nexus has you be the modern day protagonist, and in Shadows you are the modern day protagonist again. And I like that. I kind of like that. With like the old Assassin's Creed games, like Assassin's Creed 2, I feel like there was actually more going on in the modern day than in like any of the modern Assassin's Creed stuff. Because like I went and replayed a little bit of Origins, and it's like I don't even know what's going on with Layla. You know, I don't even know what's like. I barely knew what was going on. Like nothing really was going on with Layla in Odyssey or really Valhalla. Nobody really cares, I feel like, about the modern day stuff. I think it used to have like more significance. You know, in the little that I've played of Black Flag, you know, it was just kind of this random person. But again, I've only played a little bit, like a couple hours into the game, so maybe there's more going on than I remember. But like I remember, at least in Assassin's Creed 2, you had some more going on in the modern day. So here, like really, the only time I really had much was there was a couple of cryptic messages, and then when I was going through some of Nawe's quests for with the assassins, like when she was like learning more about the assassins and everything like that. That's when, you know, I got some more like Animus stuff, but like there's not a whole lot of a connection. You later on find out, which for me this came in like 60 hours into the game, where I'm actually playing through like the next level or like secondary quests for Yasuke and Nawe. And then you start to learn a little bit more. Like Yasuke is familiar with the Templars, and Nawe is her mother was part of the Assassin's Order. That was her mother and father, I guess, were part of the Assassin's Order in Japan that came in. And so you learn a little bit more, but then again, I haven't really played much past that, so I don't know what else is going on with that. But again, I just don't really care enough to really play through and continue on. It's just not that interesting to me. So let's kind of move on. The exploration on this game is, you know, I say pretty decent. One thing I definitely do like, so this game you have two exploration modes. You've got guided exploration, and then you've got your explorer mode. I did guided exploration because, I mean, do I want to go search for my quest, or do I just want you to tell me where the quest is? I just wanted you to tell me where the quest is. I didn't really care about like going and searching for the quest and everything like that. I was like, just tell me where to go. I'll go there. It's cool. That's one thing I've liked about Ubisoft design, is that I I just want to go. I just want to find the quest. I don't want to spend 10 minutes looking around an area because I'm trying to figure out where this quest is. I played a little bit with the exploration mode on. I was like, I don't know where this is. I don't know where this is. Like just looking around until I could find the thing. It was always just a frustrating experience for me. So I just turned on guided exploration, and it was great. They also have a thing where because Assassin's Creed Shadows, it's very dense with foliage, and you've got like mountains and everything like that. Unfortunately, you can't climb just anything like you could in Origins and Odyssey. You could, like in those games, you could just climb anything at all. And in Shadows, you cannot. You can only climb the stuff that they've kind of made it clear that you can climb. Whereas like for instance, if I was going into a castle, I could climb up just about any part of the wall in Odyssey and Origins, and whatever. Basically, unless it had a very smooth surface, you could climb it. And in Shadows, like you have to have something that looks climbable, basically. So there's a lot of walls and stuff that I would have wanted to climb, but you couldn't climb. You have the grappling hook, which is fine, I guess. It works. It's a bit more useful because A, you can't just climb anything anymore, and B, you've also got the roofs that like go out really far, and so that just makes it a lot. It just makes it easier, so you can just go up it a little bit easier. But also, because of the way that the Japan is built, it is like really dense foliage. So you can't just like beeline it, because like in Origins and Odyssey, you just like beeline to wherever you want to go. Like you have a little marker on your screen, and you just go there, and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna head that way, because I see the thing. I'm just gonna head that way. But you can't quite do that. You do have the compass with the little marker on the top of the compass. But in Shadows, you can't just go that way, because then you're going to get lost in the wilderness, and there's going to be a lot of mountains, and you're not going to be able to get through. And so they added a thing where you have like a little guiding line. You could press left on the D-pad. It'll have a guiding line to where you're supposed to go, and then you can follow the road and everything like that. Unlike Origins and Odyssey, where where you can just have it follow the road, your horse follow the road automatically. It doesn't do that, so you still have to kind of drive it and everything. That's fine. I like that. It's cool. Either way, it felt a little too automated in Origins and Odyssey, that you could just have your horse follow the road. But yeah, either way, it's good. Speaking of which, whenever you have a quest where you're talking to someone and you have to follow them, you can press and hold the A button. I was on Xbox controller, playing this on PC, by the way. So you could press and hold the A button, and you could just follow. It just automatically follows, and then your character will just walk with them. That was great, because then you're not like bumping into people, going too fast, going too slow, whatever. It just works out great. It's fun. Love it. I thought seasons were going to be something that, like, after a period of time of gameplay, you could just change the season whenever you wanted to. It changes the season automatically, and you can change it a little earlier, except for it'll automatically change when like the bar has set. I guess it changes multiple. It seems to change multiple times into the same season, and then once you've and then once it's done its full dial. Then the next time you fast travel, it'll change the actual season. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be something that you were gonna be able to change, because especially they've got a button. I've never used the button to change the season, because every time I've tried, it's like, you can't change the season yet. It's like, okay. They also have scouts. I didn't really use the scouts too much, because it's more focused, I think, on the exploration side of things. The version of the exploration that's not guided, where you'd send a scout out to look for your quest, and then you'd find it or whatever. Or also have scouts go and pick up some resources for you. That's pretty much the only thing I use scouts for. It's a whatever addition to it. It's fine, I guess. You can't cycle through the day and night. You just have to roll with whatever it gives you. from what I heard, it's because the developers wanted you to, just kind of take whatever it gives you. I'm not too miffed either way. I probably would prefer to have a button. I think I think I heard them say that they didn't want you like digging around in menus. And then I was going through like Origins, and I ended up like cycling from day to night. And I'm like, you just push and hold the button, and then it cycles from day to night. So that doesn't really hold up quite as well. As far as combat goes, Nawe versus Yasuke. You've got Yasuke who's much more of a tank, and you've got Nawe who can't take as many hits and is not as powerful. As far as going into like a castle, I'm always going to try to go for the stealth route with Nawe versus Yasuke. There's not really much you can do with stealth with Yasuke, so it's like him. You play melee with Nawe. You want to play stealth, and really like the stealth with Nawe is fantastic. The combat is great with Yasuke. He is pretty powerful, and like when you get Yasuke after playing Nawe for a while, you're like, whoa, this dude can like steamroll. Like it is great. So like playing as Yasuke is kind of fun. Whenever I'm going out and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like it kind of depends on like what I expect I'm gonna be doing whenever I'm exploring. So if I think I'm gonna like run into more bandits and whatever, I'm gonna play as Yasuke, so then I can just kill them with like just standard melee. Or if I'm gonna be going into castles and trying to get the synchronization points, I'm gonna be going as Nawe, because Yasuke, as far as free climbing, not great. As far as going into castles and whatever, the stealth I think in Assassin's Creed Shadows is a lot better than in Origins and Odyssey. I'd say this is probably the biggest benefit in Assassin's Creed Shadows is your stealth, really. Because like in Origins and Odyssey, whenever you go into like a fortress, you've got maybe, let's say like a big fortress, you've got probably maybe 2 to 3 dozen guys that you've got to kill, and you can kind of stealthily get around. But once you get spotted and like the alarm sounds and people are like getting, and everybody's gotten the attention, like hopefully you sabotage the brazier before that happened, because otherwise then you've got reinforcements going to be coming in. But like once people know, you're screwed basically, because there's not really much in re-hiding in Origins and Odyssey. But when it comes to Shadows, you're like if I get discovered, I could like maybe kill a person real quick, or if like a bunch of people see me, I can end up hiding somewhere in there, because there's enough like foliage and everything like that, and like buildings that you can easily break line of sight pretty quickly, and then you can start hiding again. Now, granted, I did also play stealth on pretty easy, and I also played with guaranteed assassination on. Personally, I like guaranteed assassination better, because it's like, hey, it's like your ultimate weapon. If I'm Nawe and I'm in like the castle, I can strategically kill like all the big guys, because if I accidentally get discovered and I need to fight my way out of the situation, I can kill the big guys first with an assassination, and then I can deal with the smaller people a lot more easily. And also like going through and like killing the samurai in the castle. I go around and it makes it so that like I go in and I assassinate each of the samurai, make sure it's an assassination, versus because otherwise it maybe take like half their health and then have to fight them the rest of the way out. That's just not, I don't know, to me that doesn't seem really fun. It seems a lot more fun to go in and just be able to stealthily assassinate everybody. And as far as the stealth in this game being easy, I don't know. Personally, I'm the kind of guy who likes not really having to put in that much effort and still feeling like a badass. So like this game, like, yeah, I have the stealth, pretty fairly easy, as do the combat. But I felt I really enjoyed the stealth in this game, because I could just go in and I could just like knock people out, and the castles are huge, and there's probably like somewhere between 50 to 60 guys you have to kill. So there's a lot more people, and the castles are absolutely massive. So personally, I like the stealth, and I like going through the castles. That actually castles probably do equate to a pretty decent chunk of my playtime, because there's a couple times where I probably spent like at least an hour or so going through and trying to kill everybody in the castle. And it spent like probably like an hour or so in the castle trying to kill everybody as stealthily as possible. So overall, I really like that is, I would say, the biggest thing, the thing I most enjoyed about Assassin's Creed Shadows is the stealth. And then there's also like the Animus hub that you have introduced with Shadows. To me, it seems, I don't know, kind of pointless. I think there's two things I find kind of disappointing with it. Number one, going back to Origins and Odyssey, just to kind of refresh my memory, it just kind of like, there's the theme songs in Origins and Odyssey I love, absolutely love. And you have that in the menu. You have that when you pull up your maps and everything like that. You hear it, and I absolutely love the soundtrack with that. Not as much like there. I don't have that that same sound bite, I guess. I don't have like a theme song for Shadows that I'm like, oh yeah, that's Assassin's Creed Shadows right there. There's really none of that music there, and so I think the Animus hub kind of helps with that. Starting off, because I was playing this day one, going into Shadows and then going into like Origins and Odyssey didn't really work too well. Even now, I think I went into play Origins and I went into Assassin's Creed Shadows. Then I went in the Animus hub. Then I went to Origins, and then it brought up Odyssey instead. And I was like, so that it doesn't really work super well. Also, there's not really much point in it because you open up Shadows to then open up Origins, and it's like, what are we doing here? I could just pull up the launcher and open up Origins instead. So I don't really know what we're doing with that, really. It is a thing that exists that I don't really get. So I think that should do it for me today. Thank you guys for watching this far into the video. And hopefully, if you haven't played Assassin's Creed Shadows, hopefully this hopefully it may help you make a bit of a decision on if you want to play Shadows or not. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.